Hi friends, welcome back to True Colors, the channel where I share my love of coloring with all of you. Today I will be showcasing every page that I colored in July and August of 2021. If you saw my previous video, which is my what is in my bag video, you will know that for the month of July, I plan to do only Christmas themed coloring. I plan to do Christmas in July. That just stretched and stretched and stretched, and it ended up becoming Christmas in July and August. My work schedule picked up a ton in July and August, and it's actually also very crazy this week. Kids are going back to school in the next couple of days, and so I think after that everything will streamline and I'll be a little bit more successful at getting coloring in and getting videos up. So I do apologize for this gap in time, but it worked out fine. I did finally finish everything that I set out to finish for the most part. I have one thing that's not complete, and I'm going to show you that as well. So without further ado, let's just get started. The first thing that I colored was in this little book, Escape to Christmas Past. This is by Good Wives and Warriors. It's a smaller book, as you may be able to see. I have a couple of these books now. I have Escape to Oz and also Escape to Christmas Past. There are quite a few of them, and they're really sweet little books. I love the line art in these. And this is the picture that I colored. So this may not immediately overtly scream Christmas. By the time that I got to this one, I wanted something that was maybe just a little more subtle, and I chose this little house. I did it kind of in this yellow stucco pattern with exposed brick, and I was pretty happy with how the house itself came out. I also did the clouds kind of this candy floss color, this sort of like shades of pink, cotton candy clouds. And then along the bottom here, I actually started to do this in colored pencil, and I wasn't really loving how it came out, so I just used a Crayola water-based marker and used the lines that the water-based marker made to sort of create some, this was intentional, sort of to create some lines and some layers. I also made this little snow path just by leaving a section of this blank and putting a couple of little dots there to represent people. And I was pretty pleased with how that came out. It was very quick to do. And I know a lot of people don't like water-based markers because of the way that they sort of puddle and pool on top of each other. But you can use that to your advantage to give the illusion of depth or layers. Here I went vertically for this building and horizontally for this building, and it made this line in the middle that sort of gave the illusion that it was two separate structures. So that's just a little tip for anyone who doesn't like the lines that water-based markers leave. Make them work for you. I did also add just the tiniest bit of glitter gel pen. I'm not sure if you can see it, but all of my snow is glittery. There's also a little bit of glittery snow on the trees here across the top of the roof line as well. That's just like a clear glitter gel pen. And let's see, I also did gel pen for the metallic bracket on the clock and in the stained glass windows. But for the most part, this is done with Crayola colored pencils, and I did a little bit of water-based Crayola down here at the bottom, and then like at the places that I've already shown, kind of these few little places, I did hit it with just a little tad of gel pen. I used a lot of gel pen this last couple of months because it's Christmas and you need glitter, right? I don't know, that's how I felt. So you're going to see a lot of gel pen used throughout. The next thing that I did is in this little book, A Million Mermaids by Lulu Mayo. This may not seem like an obvious choice for Christmas coloring, but I saw this and it immediately looked like a Christmas wreath to me. So I definitely decided it was like the perfect thing for Christmas in July. You know, it's like the summery mermaid, but then it's also Christmas colored and Christmas themed. Now, the only thing about this book, this was a new book to me. I know that there are a lot of these books as well. There's like A Million Sloths and, you know, all different ones. The only thing about this is that the lines in this book blur. I'm not sure if you'll be able to pick it up on the camera, but it's very noticeable to my eye on her face and in her hair. Anywhere that the pencil went over the line just smeared. And I really didn't love that. Like, I don't want my coloring lines to transfer. I wasn't very happy with that. So I don't know how I'm going to remedy that in the future, like what I'm going to do, but I'm going to have to come up with some kind of a trick to put something down over the blank page first so that my lines don't smear like that when I color over them. This entire picture was done with Prismacolor. You may know that I'm not like a super fan of Prismacolor. I definitely prefer Polychromos and slightly harder oil-based pencils. I do also have like Holbeins and some other things. But for the most part, I use Polychromos. However, I do love Prismacolor for like backgrounds or anything that's very smeary. And so I was incredibly pleased with how this background came out. This is just a couple of different shades of blue, and I've just kind of layered them over each other to give this sort of shimmery water effect. I don't know if you can see my bubble there, but I was pretty proud of that particular bubble as well. And then just on this little mermaid, I gave her a couple of metallic scales, just a few, just to give a little flash and shimmer, and everything else. Oh, and the bow as well. The bow is also glitter gel pen. I'm sure you can probably see that reflecting. And then everything else is just the Prismacolor. Everything else is just the Prismacolor pencil. So this is a nice size book. It took like a medium amount of time to do, which was really nice. It didn't take forever and ever, but it also wasn't so quick that I was then left kind of wondering what to do next. So this took a good amount of time. I was pretty happy with it. I do like this book. I just, you know, I have to find a way to keep the lines from smearing. I did start another one. I'm not sure if I can find it. And by start, I mean like I put just a couple of little touches of pencil to the paper. But I didn't keep going with it simply because here I started like coloring in some of the silver and the metallic. I didn't keep going with it only because I want to figure out how to fix that line transfer first. So that's A Million Mermaids. Then I did also color something in Johanna's Christmas because of course I did. I've really been into Joanna Basford lately. I just have to say that what she has done during the pandemic with creating all of these live videos and these tutorials and these giveaways and these contests and these things to keep us united as a community and together and active and engaged has just been like so heartwarming. She just seems like such a dear and has given so freely of her time for all of us that have been like on repeated lockdown and things like that. So, you know, just a deep debt of gratitude from me to Joanna Basford for that. And I think that is part of the reason why I've really been into her books lately. The combination of just how truly wonderful that she's been throughout the entire course of this last 17, 18 months, combined with the launch of her newest book, which is Worlds of Wonder. I think those two things together have just really kind of pushed me over the edge into being like a full-on Johanna Basford fan. So I have colored something in Johanna's Christmas. This, I'll show you first, transferred from here. So hopefully I can erase that out because that's a little bit sad. So I colored actually two things. I forgot about this one, to be honest. I did the This Book Belongs To page, and this is just an Arteza gel pen. Again, Johanna Basford's lives, she's been using a lot of like new materials. She's bought a lot of materials to try them out with us, and she was really loving Arteza gel pens, and she kind of made me do it. She made me buy them. So the super glitter ones were not in stock when I ordered, but I did get the metallic and the regular glitter. And I did this page entirely in gel pen. I don't think I've ever done a page entirely in gel pen. I like to do it like just a little, like how I've shown in these other two books, just a little touch kind of here and there to add a little bit of glamour and sparkle. But I have done this entire page in gel pen, and I actually really love it. These are, like I said, just the regular glitter ones, but they're so sparkly, so I can't imagine how sparkly the super glitter ones are. Yeah, so this is my title page. nice little like fun, festive open. I will say, if I can just show one more thing, that if you can see these lollipops that are kind of here on either side, I was pretty proud of those. I did those by blending different gel pen colors together, and I was really happy with how they came out. Okay, then kind of the primary piece that I did in this book is here. I did this polar bear. I loved this bear. Now, I have to say that I was not very happy with how this page came out. I did share this on a Facebook group where we share like Joanna Basford work, Joanna Basford your pages, and everyone else was very complimentary and said I was just being like too hard on myself or too judgmental. I love the idea, and I started kind of with this piece of the Northern Lights, and I wish on the background that I would have stopped there. Pink is my favorite color, and my favorite aspect of the Northern Lights is this kind of pink flash that you get sometimes. So I wanted to add this in, but first of all, I think it's just too much. It's like too big of a section. And second of all, it should have gone kind of off the page somewhere. Just kind of like randomly floating in the middle of the page doesn't work for me. And I just think it's too much. Like, I think it would have been better if I just either would have stuck with just this one, or if I would have done like another maybe small one in the same color scheme. This feels like too much. I'm gonna have to buy this book again just so I can recreate this page, because I'm a little sad that I've like ruined my polar bear. Then I did the bottom. I do love how the water came out. This is just two colors, the same two colors I think, or similar colors anyway, of the mermaid page. And this is just sort of this gorgeous ocean that I've done in Prismacolor with a little bit of Posca. I'm not sure if I said, but this background is also Prismacolor. The majority of this picture, almost everything, is Prismacolor. Some of the packages are polychromos just because they had teeny tiny details to get into. And then I did do a couple of glitter gel pen accents on like the ribbons and things like that. The bear is also Prismacolor. This scarf is polychromos, I believe. The iceberg is Prismacolor with Posca pen highlights. So I had a lot of fun doing this. This page is really, I think, the primary reason that my Christmas in July became Christmas in August, because I got about halfway through this and I got really demoralized, and I just kind of like lost the motivation to work on this or anything else for a while. It was really like kind of pulling teeth, and then on top of that my work schedule was so heavy, I just got like really behind. So I jokingly said this page was a bear to color, and it was a bear to color. And I'm probably going to end up rebuying this book because I want to redo this page. So that's my polar bear in Johanna's Christmas, and also my title page. Now, I do also have Lizzie Mary Cullen's The Magical Christmas. This was another page that I wasn't super happy with. This was like my second time ever working with Derwent Inktense. And backgrounds with Inktense can be really challenging. I already knew that. I was kind of up for the challenge. But I did get a lot of these sort of like tide lines where the colors meet instead of like a smooth blend. I did also, I think, have some unactivated color on this cloud, because when I went over the background trying to blend it, I kind of dragged all of this black down into the page, which I don't think that's like super noticeable. I don't know, maybe it is. You know, so again, this was a page that I was like meh about. It was great to work with a new medium, to try something new out, to actually have the challenge of going back to fix some of these mistakes, or at least make some of these mistakes better, was really nice. I do enjoy a challenge. I was really happy with the sand dunes, at least, you know, relatively happy with the sand dunes. Less happy with the sky, like especially this kind of like part over here. Less happy with that. But this, like I said, is Derwent Inktense, and then some white Posca on top. There is also a little bit of polychromos on top of the Inktense. So some of these places where I had like a really poor blend, I tried to go back with like a polychromos and sort of force the blend. Use some similar toned pencils to do some extra layers to try to force the blend. I'm not sure that was like really successful, but I did try. And yeah, this book, I know that lovely Peter Hewitt has so much success with ink tints in these Lizzie Mary Cullen books. And I literally bought The Magical Christmas because I've seen Peter Hewitt feature it so much. I'm going to have to do a lot of work and a lot of practice with my ink tints to sort of get, up to where I feel like comfortable, I think, with the finished result. Because like I said, this wasn't my favorite finished result, but I am relatively happy with it. And I do always love a challenge because it teaches me something. And I have so many pages to practice ink tints with. So I'm just going to keep going with it. And we'll see what further adventures this book brings. Now, the last thing that I have is actually just kind of a collection of PDFs. So here they are. My first one is Harry in his Christmas sweater. Now, most of these PDFs are done with alcohol markers. I don't have a ton of alcohol markers, but I do have some, and I never use them because, of course, they bleed terribly, and I don't want this in my books. Although Johanna Basford's Christmas would be okay because those are one-sided images. But for the most part, I don't use alcohol markers in books. Now, I did buy Skin Tone, the Ohuhu Skin Tone markers this month. Those were a new purchase for me, and I had never really done skin before, so this was kind of my first go at like skin and hair for the most part, and I was like relatively happy with how it turned out. I thought it came out pretty well, actually, considering that I had never really done it before. And so yeah, this is kind of what I've done. Also, I tried to make this background look like stucco. That's also with the skin tone marker. This is also skin tone marker, and so is this. And then his sweater is just the other markers that I had. So, yeah, there's Harry and his Christmas sweater. I was really excited to color this image. It was one of the reasons that I really wanted to do Christmas in August. Then I have a couple of Elf on the Shelf images. I have this little guy, just the classic quintessential Elf on the Shelf. Again, I used my Ohuhu skin tone markers to do the face. Kind of had a little flub there with the cheeks. I was going for like a more rusty color, and it just looked very, very brown and muddy, so I kind of tried to layer some pink over the top. I'm not quite sure how that has come out, but the other aspects of the skin tone I really like. I also used alcohol markers on this one, of course, and yeah, not much to say about him. He's just a sweet little elf sitting on a ledge there. And then I did do another Elf on the Shelf picture, and I did this one's outfit kind of inspired by like the movie Elf, the costume in the movie Elf. Does anybody remember that movie? I love that movie. I watched that movie on repeat for like months and months when it first came out. So I did this little elf in like the colors of the costume from the Elf movie, and then I tried to do a darker kind of African American skin tone. Again, brand new to skin tones. This was all experimentation for me. Not fully happy. Like, he could definitely use more shadow and highlight instead of just being kind of so flat. But this is how we learn, as we experiment and we try new things. So also did this little elf. Now, I did say that I had something that I hadn't quite finished, but I was going to show you anyway, and this is what it is. So this is Joanna Basford's Inky Advent Calendar. This is free on her website, and the idea is these all have a little number you may be able to see, and so the idea is you just color one every day leading up to Christmas. Throughout the course of Christmas in July, I was trying to keep up with this, and whatever medium that I was working in that day, I tried to color the day's image also in that medium. So this is kind of a collection of things. This is I believe polychromos. This is gel pen. This is Crayola. This is alcohol marker. This is Spectrum Noir. I had those and wanted to try them out on this. They're not my favorite pencil, but I just wanted to try them out again. I pulled them out of my stash. This is also Crayola. This is like a Crayola water-based marker, this cake here. I feel like these are Prismacolor, like this kind of selection across the top. Alcohol marker again. This is gel pen. Now the snowman I really, really loved. I thought he was just so cute. He's all glitter gel pen. Very subtle but very sweet. And then I hit just the dark edges on his snow, like the recessed edges on his snow with the tiniest little bit of Prismacolor. So then we come down here. This is Polychromos, water-based Crayola marker, Spectrum Noir again, and glitter gel pen. So I did not quite finish this, but I did give it a go. You also may be able to tell I printed one of these on like standard copy paper and one of them is on cardstock. And that was also an experiment. I just wanted to see how different mediums played on different paper. I've tried to use a little bit of each medium on each side. And yeah, this was really fun to do. I would like to do this again at Christmas time. This is like the one thing that I didn't finish, but I did have a lot of fun with it. Okay, so that is everything that I colored in July and August of 2021. And I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun coloring these images, but then also got frustrated at times and kind of gave up. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay if you need to take breaks. Art and creativity, it's supposed to be fun. At least for me, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be stress reliever. It's supposed to be anti-anxiety. So if it spurs anxiety or if it makes me stressed out, you know, I don't feel bad about putting it down and coming back to it later. So again, I hope you have enjoyed and thank you so much for watching. See you soon.